So the suspect charged with shooting two Minnesota state politicians, injuring one and killing the other, has officially been captured and arrested after almost a 48-hour manhunt. There's a lot of weird things going on with this case, and we'll talk about that in this video. But overall, it's just a tragedy that political violence is getting increasingly normal in the United States. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and most importantly, turn on the notification bells. I'm seeing that YouTube is only pushing my videos to 20 or 30% of my subscribers. So hitting that bell and turning on notifications is the only way to guarantee that you never miss a video. But let's hear the breaking news coverage regarding this arrest.
Breaking news out of Minnesota, where Fox News can now confirm the gunman accused of shooting two state lawmakers and their spouses has been arrested. 57-year-old Vance Boelter is accused of assassinating Democratic Minnesota State Representative Melissa Horton and her husband, and severely injuring State Senator John Hoffman and his wife. Hoffman and his wife underwent surgery, and the lawmakers' homes were less than 10 miles apart. Investigators say early yesterday morning, Boelter, dressed like a police officer, came out of Hortman's home and fired at police before escaping. We're also learning police found a list of 70 names, including other lawmakers and abortion providers, in Boelter's car. That car also allegedly looked like a police car. Minnesota's Governor Tim Walz is calling the shooting a, quote, act of targeted violence.
Now, at least on X, there's this tribal debate going on whether this guy was a Democrat, whether he was a Republican. There's a lot of inconsistencies in his work history, his life history, his overall motivations. He was appointed to an advisory committee in 2016 by the Republican governor at the time of Minnesota, but then was essentially given a promotion and appointed to the board of that same committee in 2019 by Tim Walz. He was very outspoken about being against abortion and the LGBTQ agenda, which doesn't necessarily make you a Republican. I think most normal people are against those things. But coincidentally, the politician who was unfortunately killed by this lunatic was the sole Democrats who voted with Republicans to kick illegal immigrants off of the Minnesota welfare plan. He was a pastor who apparently did a lot of mission work in Africa and has a really weird career history, from getting a doctorate in education to being a general manager at a 7-Eleven to owning his own security company. In his car, they found flyers saying "No Kings," which was obviously the Democrat protest that happened this weekend, but also found a manifesto which included a hit list of 70 Democrat politicians. So there's a lot of contradicting information, but to put it plainly, it doesn't matter. There are lunatics on both sides of the political spectrum. The only difference is there's one clear party who is actively fanning the flames and encouraging political violence, and that would be the Democrats. Let's take a look at some of their highlights.
Biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized right up to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him.
Punch some people in the face!
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look as his character is stabbed to death.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
So on one hand, you have a party that's calling for the return of greatness to America and trying to unify us under a proud American spirit. And on the other hand, you have a side that labels their opponents Nazis and fascists, calls them evil people, and blatantly expresses that the only way to deal with these people is through physical violence. And unfortunately, the same party that is constantly calling for political violence proclaims mental illness to be some sort of status symbol and has become a breeding ground for instability. I mean, a Pew Research poll came out that showed that 57% of liberal women between the ages of 18 and 29 have some sort of mental illness. And instead of trying to get to the root of that and solve that and fix that, the left champions it and embraces it, glorifies it as some sort of cool quirk. So when you have a party who is welcoming to the mentally ill, and then you use dishonest, inflammatory language like calling people Nazis because they disagree with you politically, and then continuously saying things like 8647, which can be interpreted to mean assassinate the president, or Donald Trump's gotta go. We have to save our country from authoritarianism. You are inciting your mentally ill base into taking action into their own hands. A congressional baseball game was shot up. Josh Shapiro's house was set on fire. The president of the United States had 2 assassination attempts on his life. The media tried to say the guy who assaulted Nancy Pelosi's husband was a far-right MAGA until they found him living in a dirty, dingy trailer with pride flags draped all over it. You got the BLM riots burning down cities across America. You got the LA riots now, violence against law enforcement. So while it's to be determined whether this particular bad actor was a Democrat or Republican, what's clear is the political tensions have been directly escalated by one side. Now let's listen to the friend of the shooter read a final text message that the shooter sent to him after he popped up at his friend's house, who he was also roommates with while he was on the run.
I love you guys. I made some choices, and you guys don't know anything about this, but I'm going to be gone for a while. Sorry. Take your time. Maybe dead shortly. So I just want to let you know that I love you guys both, and I wish it hadn't gone this way. I don't want to say anything more and implicate you in any way, because you guys don't know anything about this. But I love you guys, and I'm sorry for all the trouble this has caused.
In other clips of this friend talking, he expresses that his buddy's a Trump supporter, he would hate to be called a Democrat, and it seems a little staged, as if they're trying to push a particular narrative. But what I'm confused about is, in such a high-profile case involving the killing of a politician, you would think that his phone would be somewhere in an evidence locker. Why is this friend allowed to be openly talking to the media about intimate details regarding this case? Like, why wasn't the media scrambling to talk to the friends of the guy who tried to assassinate Donald Trump? We didn't hear from the parents, we didn't hear from friends, we didn't hear from anybody. But in this case, they're letting the guy openly speak and remove any doubts that this guy was a Trump supporter. Now, apparently the shooter was this guy's roommate because he would stay at this house sometimes to be closer to work. But look how this conversation takes a weird turn when a reporter asks him to reread the text message.
But then it gets even weirder.
What did the text say?
Good, you missed it. I can't read it again.
And now he can't read it again? And then it gets weirder.
A photo of your phone screen like you're punching.
Yeah, I just don't want Jenny seeing it splashed on the...
Yeah, I mean, we wouldn't want it big, but
yeah, it's all right. I read it, that's...
Okay.
And now no screenshots of the text. There's something funky smelling.
So you have no problem reading the text message to the press, but you don't want to show them the screenshot and have it plastered all over the TV to spare the wife's feelings. There's literally no difference between the two. And the way the text was worded, maybe the guy misspoke. But what I find particularly strange about this is, why is he sending this heartfelt goodbye message to his friends, trying to clear them of any implication in what he did? Doesn't that seem like a text you would send to your wife? I mean, this guy has a wife and 5 kids, but his "I love you, I miss you, I'm gonna be gone for a while" text went to his buddy. And that's because his wife probably knew about it, and it seems as if they were trying to make a getaway together. Listen to what was found in the wife's car when she was pulled over by police during this manhunt.
Between 10 and 11 a.m. this morning, law enforcement made a traffic stop involving a vehicle carrying several relatives of Vance Boelter, including his wife. We have talked to an eyewitness who says about a dozen law enforcement squads converged on the vehicle and remained on the scene for 2 to 3 hours. We are also told by several of our sources the vehicle contained a weapon, ammunition, cash, and passports. Now, to our knowledge, no one in that group has been arrested, just detained for questioning.
Was she traveling like that because maybe she feared for her life, didn't know what kind of retribution would be coming her way? Was she in on it and trying to make an escape with her husband? Or maybe she wasn't trying to escape with him, but was trying to meet up with him and help him restock. I'm not sure, and she wasn't arrested, she was just detained, let me make that clear. But when you combine how she was traveling with the fact that he decided to send the goodbye, I love you text to his buddy and not his wife, I think when you connect the dots, the intention is clear that he was at least planning on seeing his wife again, who, oh, by the way, is the co-owner of the security company. Now, he used his security company car, impersonated a police officer, and that's how he got these politicians to open their doors in the middle of the night and shot them. And some people are suggesting maybe this security company was a front. Maybe it gave him the cover to get the car, to get the outfit, and be able to try to take out as many politicians as he could. And maybe the wife was in on it. I don't know. But one thing's for sure, most people don't travel with guns, ammo, money, and a passport. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments section below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Turn on the notification bells so you never miss a video. And I will see you guys in the next one.